Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining. I'm your host, Chris Gennaro. My co-host is Rizk, and today we have Oxalate. How are you doing, guys?
Yeah, doing good.
So why don't you guys introduce yourselves and let us know what you do in the band?
What's up? I'm Devon. I play bass. I do the growls and the disgusting noises. Yeah, yeah, that's about it.
I'm Jacky. I play drums and do vocals, backup vocals.
What's up, gang? I'm Chris. I play guitar. Yeah.
I'm Zakk, and I also play guitar.
Okay, let's get right into the video. I think that's a good place to start. You guys just did a four-way split on Blood Harvest, one song apiece for all the four bands, and you guys did a video. So how did that all come about?
Yo, Zach, jump in.
Yeah, so we had done a video prior for one of the songs on our EP, the song Dark Ritual, and we worked with this guy Tage from Mind Decay Productions, and he did a really great job. So it was kind of just like let's just do it again with him, you know what I mean? And we basically just gave him a bunch of like horror movies and ideas, and he had a bunch of his own ideas, and we had some footage from one of our last show at St. Vitus Bar with sang with Sugabog, and we kind of just like put it all together and made the video. But he's awesome. I love Tage. He's like a pleasure to work with.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of his other videos, and he seems to also gravitate towards this sort of like B horror thing. So I was kind of thinking, was that his idea? Was that your guys' idea?
Oh, it's partially ours, right?
Yeah, I would say like I would say that the idea to make like a mashup with like the different like movie clips, we kind of touched on it a little bit in Dark Ritual, and then we just like really went hard with it in Necrotic Consent. Like I was definitely more specific. Like with Dark Ritual, I was like, here's like 5 movies, like find cool scenes from them that would fit, or like certain things. And then for this one, we were all kind of just like, these are specific movies. Here's like 50 minutes and 10 seconds into this movie, like this scene would sound sick linked up with this part of the song. So. But he also added a lot of his own things. Like he was, the whole like Natural Born Killers thing at the beginning, like he was like all about that, and it's like very all cool. And he put in like the Terminator thing. I don't want to get like too specific with stuff, but yeah, he definitely rules.
He's very creative.
All the movies.
Give him anything.
I kind of consider Tage to be like Dr. Frankenstein. We just wrote the soundtrack for his monster that he created.
That's pretty accurate.
Cool. Yeah, I saw you got a nice write-up in Decimal Magazine about it. When he was talking about the B horror stuff, I wasn't thinking I was going to recognize much of it, but I did recognize there's a bunch of things from Altered State or Altered States in there.
Such a good movie. I feel like that was like an awesome movie, and then it kind of just disappeared, and then in the last like 5 years, like everyone's like, that's a great movie.
Well, I mean, I definitely got turned on to it because they used some of the scenes for the cover of Street Cleaner, I think. So, I was like, well, what the heck is that? And, if it's good enough for Godflesh, it was good enough for me to check out a long time ago. But definitely a super – and that's not even a real big horror movie, but it's just sort of a bizarre movie.
Yeah, it's like a total mindfuck. And it definitely has horror elements, but it's also like very trippy and like philosophical and – super weird, like a good way.
Yeah, I think that's what I liked about the videos is that while they're horror and there's a lot of gore, there's definitely like a trippy element to it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're all a bunch of fucking nudnicks. Actually, I'm just a nudnick. Base brain. But I love like the horror, like the trippy vibe, like that H.P. Lovecraft, even though Lovecraft is like kind of sketch and his personal stuff, like I love cosmic horror. I love all the modern writers that do the cosmic horror. So, and I know I don't want to speak for Devon, but I know like a lot of Devon's influences are like influenced by Lovecraft and other like horror writers as well.
Yeah, we're a bunch of sick horror freaks in Oxalate.
So how did the four-way split come about with Blood Harvest?
Basically, Bloodspore got signed to Blood Harvest, and then they I forget which one of them personally hit us up, but they were like, hey, we're trying to do like a split release, and they got together some bands, and like Blood Harvest kind of, I guess, wanted to do like this, like support like underground death metal like type of thing, and then showcasing one of their bands and then some other bands. But yeah, so it was us, Blood Harvest, Vivisect, Perpetuated, and I love all those people and all those bands, and they all rule, and all the songs definitely rule. I love that split.
I think
They got to make a vinyl though. Blood Harvest, time for the vinyl. Let's do it.
It just helped we're all homies too. We've played together a couple times.
With all those bands?
Yeah, besides, we played with Perpetuated as well, yeah. All of them.
Yeah, I remember we had Sentient Horror on, and they were talking up Vivisect a lot. So I know that's an area band that's been doing a lot of shows, and especially in Philly and stuff.
That's good death metal right there. That's good people. I want to give them a hug. Like, I want to give all the homies a hug. Everybody.
Shout out Vivisect.
So where were you guys playing before the
Mike was a good fucking guy. I really like Mike, the drummer of Vivisect. Shout out to you, buddy.
So where were you guys playing out before the pandemic hit? What are your the places that you like to play, and obviously we know who you've been playing out with.
I think the last place we played before all this went south was St. Vitus. Yeah, that was our last show. And besides that, we do little sparse mini tours and stuff like that, like around the East Coast, like up, down, stuff like that. COVID kind of put a halt to a lot of our touring plans, but we were trying to. It was just like full stop, but once we get some normalcy back, we're trying to do like another tour, or like somewhere around the country, maybe outside the country, who knows.
We're going outside the country. We're going to see our boys in Ireland.
Oh yeah,
Zelicult. We're coming for Ireland.
Boys in Ireland? Who? What band in Ireland?
Zelicult. They're also on Blood Harvest.
Yeah, Zelicult.
Yeah, Zelicult. They're great. Like, great band, great people.
Yeah.
Class.
Yeah. Choice.
Yeah, there you go. Choice.
Okay. Eric, you were talking to me before yesterday about the concert.
Oh yeah, the Necrofest. Aren't you involved? Some people in the band involved with putting that on, right?
Yeah. So Jacky and myself. So I'll let her talk about her part of that in a second. But yeah, we did the one Necrofest, and it was pretty awesome. Like, we had grindcore death metal, like, so underground hip hop, like wrestling, all different types of stuff. Three different venues, because there was like after shows, and it was pretty awesome. Necrofest 2 was going to be wild. I don't even want to start talking about the lineup. It's going
to be so much better too.
But the lineup was going to be wild. All right, Jacky, I'll let you take it away for a second.
Oh yeah, we basically just had a better lineup this year, and it just sucks it got canceled.
Sucks. How did you get involved though in like actually setting up like an actual fest of that magnitude? Because those were name acts on the first one. I remember I wanted to go to it. I think I was out of town when it was happening, but you got name bands to play and a lot of venues, and just coordinating something like that.
I also just want to say that the third member of the Necrofest, like the Pyramid of Destruction, is Josh from Pink Mass. So I just would feel bad if we didn't talk about it and not mention him. But yeah, Josh, it's like kind of like the whole thing there. And what was the question?
I said, how did you get involved with, organizing a fest like that big with, name bands and multiple venues and all this stuff? Because that was the first year, right? That was the first year.
Yeah. So at least for my personal part of it, like I had like a previous relationship with St. Vitus. Like, I've been working there for a little while, and there was a fest that was running called Metal Punk Death Fest. And in 2018, like, I kind of just like, because I had been booking my own shows at Vitus and like working the door there a bunch, and so like they were doing that fest already for a couple years, and I said, hey, why don't you guys like I want to collaborate with you, and like we'll do like all at Vitus, because they had done some of the stuff at Vitus, some of the stuff at other venues. So I was like, we'll do all at Vitus. We booked some cool bands, and then from doing that, I was like, hey, like, I want to try something like even crazier. And Josh was really like into like the hip hop and the wrestling, and really introduced that to all of us. And it was just a great collaboration of things, and I hope it can continue.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm not sure how wrestling goes down in that place though. Like,
I think how it all turned out is because we all lived in the same house for a while. So we kind of like, we were all in bands and we had good connections. So we just put it all together and it worked.
Cool. And as for the wrestling, like, like usually it'll, in the venue parts, it like we did at Lucky 13, and it like started on the stage, and they have like lots of like, you know, props and, you know, light fixtures and like barbed wire and all that crazy stuff. And then eventually it gets into the crowd, and then they kind of just go through the venue, and the crowd kind of just like walks like with the wrestling happening. It seems like it wouldn't work, but it like did. Like it was awesome to be there, but also very
chaotic.
But it worked.
yeah, I would
Definitely chaotic, man. But the wrestling was just like the cherry on top of the cake. To be honest. Like, after a long night of seeing bands and everything, and then you have a no-ring death match, it was just a real cool vibe to be around. Lots of friendly faces, and you know, it was a blast. I'm really bummed that the second one didn't happen. So
yeah, well, I mean, it's definitely not very COVID friendly. Just like, you know, all the sweat and bodily fluids and blood and
yeah,
down and dirty.
Like there are folding chairs and stuff involved as well.
Everything they could find.
Like there was like a stockade. Like they were making weapons. Like there's all different types of stuff. Like it was definitely very bloody. Like lots of
like fluorescent light bulbs, a lot of mercury powder, you know.
That's good for your lungs.
I think I made some lightsabers with bobby pins on it, and they loved it.
You made lightsabers with thumbtacks on them.
There we go, thumbtacks. Yeah. Yeah, it was great.
Birthday show. That was like the Necrofest presents Jacky's like hellish birthday bash with like Meat Locker.
So I think I guess we'll move on to the big question, which is when are you guys doing a full length? Oh,
very soon.
I got you with that one.
A bit like so. I think like right now we're probably gonna do like one more EP, and we write like a bunch of songs, and usually we'll record like, you know, 70% of them, like, you know, for like EP we'll write like a series of songs, and then we'll have a couple left over. So we have a couple songs we haven't recorded, we have a couple songs we'll redo, and then we'll probably write like 4 or 5, 6 more new songs after this EP, and then do like a full length. But we have like 3 or 4 like new songs like ready to go that we're kind of just like tightening up and making sure like it's perfect, because, you know, and then we're gonna record it, make a new EP, get some art and shirts and all that stuff.
Cool. And what about
like St. Vitus is going to start doing some live stream stuff, so we're hopefully going to be doing like a live stream set, and hopefully with some other bands, like have different bands go in at different days and kind of just package it together. They're doing it on Veeps. You know Veeps? It's like a live stream site. I've never heard of it before this, but apparently it's like run by the twins from Good Charlotte, so I'm down. That's fine.
Oh, weird. Okay. It's called Veeps? Veeps?
Yeah, it's called Veeps. Like originally it was like made for like meet and greets, to like take that money away from like, you know, the middlemen like promoters, and have it just be like fan to artist. But now they've like pivoted to video chat or to like live stream concerts because all this craziness.
Yeah.
So they would do it at St. Vitus with no audience or a sparse audience.
Exactly, no audience. They do it like so you bring in one band, like probably one band per day or 2 bands per day, but like space it out, and maybe only have like just the sound guy, you know, maybe like whoever's filming, and like maybe one other person, like, so and everyone's wearing masks, and like just the band's not wearing masks that's playing at the time, film it, you know, edit it up, probably have like 5 cameras, really nice, and then, you know, release it, you know, at whatever given time, and like a package thing through the Veeps. Then you'd like purchase it through Veeps, and maybe we might do like a t-shirt like package, like with like Vitus, or like a t-shirt like the poster for the show. We're like figuring it all out, but like they did one for like Halloween with like all the local punk bands like Warhog and like all the other bands, like the members did like covers, like sets, and like raise monies for like charities and stuff, and it was like a test, and it seemed like it went pretty well. So hopefully they'll do that soon, like live stream shows, and we definitely will be doing one if it's all works out.
Awesome. And so tell me about your songwriting process. Do you write like everything together? Or does one person come with like riffs or a whole song, or how do you guys compose music?
I
I
would
think
say
it's a
all.
little bit of each of that, to be honest. Like, you know, sometimes we're in the room jamming and hey, that part sounds cool, and then we'll like advance from there. But other times, like, you know, Zakk will bring riffs to the table, Devon will bring riffs to the table, I'll bring riffs to the table, and it's a combination of that to where it's like we each bring something to the table, and you know, we mesh with each other and mold into something. You know.
Cool.
Getting back to St. Vitus, obviously they can't be doing much right now, right? I mean, I kind of feel for their business.
Yeah, no, it's definitely rough. I mean, they got like, you know, they have a strong, you know, like bands, like they have a strong merch game. Like they have a lot of cool merch, a lot of cool, you know, artists working with them making that merch. So they have that, and you know, like, you know, lucky for them, as opposed to some other places, like they have an established brand. Like, you know what I mean, people know St. Vitus, people come internationally, but it's like super hard. Like, you know, there's they make money selling alcohol like any bar, right?
Yep.
So you can't really sell alcohol. You can't have anyone in your bar. Like, and they're not a bunch of dickheads. Like, they're not going to open right now. Like, they're not, you know, they're not trying to do anything like crazy. You know what I mean? Not that anyone's open's a dickhead, but like, you know what I mean? They're not trying to like push the envelope. Like, you know what I mean? That's a specific, like, you come to St. Vitus to like see a show. Like, you know what I mean? If there's like no, like, they're not going to just open. You know what I mean? That's what it, so it's really like, it's definitely really tough. And that's why we're trying to do these like live streams and like a lot of different things, but you know, fingers crossed in like 6-7 months, like be some light at the end of the tunnel, and like, you know, everyone's like touring schedules will kind of just like shoot back up, and it'll just be some weird like 18-month pause that we just all went on.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they could turn that into sort of like a business model and just get like just a ton of bands in there doing that type of thing. You know, because I figure once you're set up for it, you know, it's probably not so hard to just flick the switch on, right?
Well, that's what we're trying to do. It's just like, you know, it's difficult because of like that, because there's like a pandemic. So like, you know, it's like it's kind of dangerous. You know, you really, plus like people from out of the city are like kind of scared of New York City. Like, they just think it's like a wasteland now. Like, it just turns like Escape from New York or something. Like, but people like don't want to come. Like, people like don't want to come in. And like, you know, also people just have like pre-existing conditions or like have family members that are sick, and it's like you could get it and you wouldn't even feel it, but you might give it to someone. So like, I understand there's a lot of different things. Plus like state to state like boundaries, I know there's like different like rules, so it's just a whole.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, quarantine rules and stuff. Yeah,
that's why we try to rip, man.
Yeah.
So you guys got dates to go in for the next EP? I mean, let's commit to something.
Gotta talk to Devon about that. He's our engineer in chief. He's not only our vocalist and bass player, but he records all our stuff.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. Okay, you record okay. Cool.
Yeah, so we're definitely not going to get it done in 2020. Yeah, that's all I got.
Well, I mean, you know, unless you started already, I don't think that's going to happen.
Like late spring, we're like, you know what I mean? That's like we would hope to have it all recorded hopefully by March. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. We got a bunch of songs that we've written and we're still working on them and stuff. It's like 80% complete for an EP. So we're trying to do something like end of spring, you know, mix and throw it on Bandcamp and everywhere. Probably like maybe like after that, like a month or so. So yeah, like I'd say we're aiming for like early summer to get it out.
Okay, so are you eyeing like, so you don't have a specific label in mind at this point?
No, not at this time.
And as far as recording, you said you record it yourself. Do you do that in a studio, or do you have like a home studio that you're doing?
Yeah, so we got our practice spot over in Passaic, and it's really nice. It's got padded walls and everything. So I just bring my laptop and just got a cheap recording interface that I bought from my older band, and just, you know, we just live track everything, put it down, you know, stuff like that. You know, mix it, get it up in like a month.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, the do-it-yourself thing obviously saves a lot of time and money, and especially if you can do that Cool. So there'll be like 6 songs or so. That's what we're talking about.
What, for the next EP?
Yeah, yeah.
Probably gonna be probably like an intro and 4 songs, I would think. Like, like 15 to 20 minutes worth of music, and then, realistic, like thinking long term, like I would like to put this new EP and the old EP and like a couple of our other like random like B-side songs that we have laying around like on like a vinyl before we put out like whatever our like actual like full length is gonna be. So you know what I mean? Then we can have like both things. Because I guess like because we're all just like in quarantine, I have lots of time to just like think about like stupid things or like this.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because I know that. Yeah, go on.
I was gonna say, how do you guys know each other? How did you had the band form in the beginning?
Started with Zakk and I just jamming out.
Okay.
I kind of just lied to him and told him that I knew how to play drums. So we just kept on with that, and it started something right away, and then we got Devon.
Yeah, I knew Zakk for like years because he basically would be throwing shows at the Meat Locker and Vitus and everywhere in between Jersey and the city. And my old band used to get a lot of shows through him. So, and I used to come out and see his old band Huldra all the time. So we used to just like hang. Basically, he hit me up to play some bass, and then I saw there was nobody doing vocals, and I was like, hey, let me do that. And there you go.
Cool.
And then we got Chris.
Oh yeah, dude. And then I came into the fold.
You showed up.
Yeah, well, we actually like Chris. We actually found like he was at like a shelter, and he was like asking me if he could like do something for like a bag of crack. But he was wearing he was wearing like a Slayer shirt. So then we started talking about music, and then they say the rest is history.
Yeah, Staten Island, man.
Dudes, I want you guys to know, story's total bullshit. I've known Zakk for years, man, and through like mutual friends of like Brooklyn, Staten Island, New Jersey, I guess, and then like we reconnected through Vitus, seeing each other more and more because he threw like a lot of shows, and realized that we're really good friends, and eventually asked me to join up with them, and that's an honor, man. It's been a real trip. Gotta say, so far so good.
I love Chris. You're making me cry right now. I love this guy. I met Chris because I used to be in like a deathcore band in like 2010, and like all the members were from Staten Island, and like one of the members was like friends with like Chris, or like he was like Chris adjacent. So like me and Chris have like known each other for like a decade. Like I've known Chris longer than I've known anyone else in the band. That's so funny.
That's Johnny, write it down.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I hear a little bit of the Staten Island, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I'm under the ropes right now. I'm trying not to talk too much. Because I can go, John. But yeah, it's been a real trip, and I think we've come a long way, even in the little bit of time that I've been in the band, and we've all grown together, and we've grown into writing music together, and that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
You guys got a lot of the same influences and stuff?
Pretty much, I'd say.
Yeah, Wasp.
Yeah, Wasp.
Yes.
There's good overlap, but like we all have different influences, but there's a good like overlap that like we all there's like an overlap that we all share, like certain things that we all appreciate, and I think that like blends into the band.
For sure. Absolutely agreed.
I think that's kind of how we all started to get along, because of our interests kind of matched.
What else do you guys like to do besides the metal stuff? Like I think there was a video game reference in one of your, like one of the clips or something was from a video game.
Yeah, that was me. That was my fault. Yeah. So like aside from some like sick horror movies and making riffs with my buds over here, I also like to play really old obscure games on basically what I'm considering an antique machine by this point. It's like a mid to late 90s gaming tower that cost like $2,000 back in the day to make. It's probably worth like squat now. But that sample that you hear, at the beginning of Necrotic Descent's actually from this game called Blood, and that game is just it's still to this day the most brutal hands down shooter game that you could play. It's just like you're killing cultists left and right with dynamite and pitchforks and just like beheading zombies. It's super fun. That's what I do in my spare time.
You ever see those, like, you'll see like a thing on the internet and it'll be like one of those weird like shitpost pages and it'll be like some guy like powers Doom game with like a bunch of potatoes. Like that's Devon. Like he'll be
Yeah.
like, powers MS-DOS machine with a bunch of potatoes.
My greatest feat was getting it to run on a little postage stamp screen MP3 player, like one of those little SanDisk clip ones. So it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun to play or to do. And I got it working for an hour, and I was just like, "Oh, this is stupid."
Yeah, I've seen clips like that. Like people have things running on pregnancy tests and other weird shit. So.
Yep. Yeah.
Get on it, Devon.
What else are you gonna do? You know, you get a positive thing. You know, you get the positive sign on the reading, so you're just like, "Ah, oh, fuck. What am I gonna do now? I'm gonna play Doom."
Fun prank on someone's significant other, like she pees on the pregnancy test, but then you like hack into it, and then you look at it and be like, "Hey, it's a Mario." And then you got a picture of it.
It's a hard. Pretty good.
What are some of the other lyrical what you guys write about lyrically besides I heard some Lovecraft things and
yeah, Jacky also contributes to the lyrics too. Yeah, my main themes are just like from horror movies and Lovecraft.
I think we try to stick to pretty much just that.
Yeah.
So far.
yeah, and I know Jacky, you're listed as background vocals. I think I heard a bunch of your stuff on one of the, I want to say the first song of the EP. I could hear some of the background vocals, but it wasn't a ton. Are you gonna do more of that?
I plan to.
Okay.
It's just really hard playing and singing, so I try to do parts that I know I can do live as well.
Okay, so that figures into it. Like you wouldn't do a background vocal that you don't think you could pull off live.
Exactly. I try to limit myself so I don't look like an idiot.
Cool. And then I have some other notes. I think you do like jewelry, or you have I don't want to say a jewelry line, but that's like a side gig of yours.
Yeah, I make chainmail for now.
Chainmail.
Chainmail, yeah.
Like you could do a chainmail vest.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah, it takes a whole lot of fucking time, but yeah.
And how much does a chainmail vest go for?
It depends on the timing, to be honest, and how much metal you put into it. So probably like 400, depending on the size. Yeah.
Chris, are you secretly in the market for a chainmail vest? Is that
I don't know. One of my really good friends has a full set of plate mail armor.
Okay.
And he keeps it in his basement, and I'm pretty fucking jealous. I
go to Renaissance?
Badass.
What?
Those things are badass.
Yeah, no, he wears it for Halloween and stuff like
Halloween. What about Renaissance fests? Renaissance.
Jacky makes like chainmail like S&M shit. Like it's got like leather on it. Like it's like leather daddy chainmail. Like,
leather daddy.
Thing where it's like a little thong, but it's just like chainmail instead of like fabric.
Oh shit!
Do you just have like an Etsy shop or something like that?
Excuse me?
You have like an Etsy shop? I think that's where people usually sell that type of stuff.
Not at the moment. I'm planning on it though. I just started, so I'm taking it easy, just starting with Instagram for now.
Okay, so that's where you're selling is on Instagram.
Yeah, for now.
Yo, shout out the page, like and subscribe.
Yeah, Cannabis Vault.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I was going to say. Also, you know, we always put the descriptions of everything that we talk about, you know, in there. So hit me up with the Instagram link, and I'll definitely stick it in the description below so people can go check that out.
Any leather daddy medieval LARPers, dude. Any leather LARPers, dude.
Ren Fair, maybe Ren Fair.
You ready for the apocalypse and look fashionable?
There you go. That's what I'm going for.
Good. I like that.
Cool. What else you got, Eric?
I think that's all I got. I don't have any other questions really. I think covered it quite a bit. What do you think?
Do you guys got anything you want to plug or shout outs or other, bands that you play with that you didn't get to squeeze in there?
Dude,
Shout out to Sanguisuga for being our homies. I'm sorry.
no, I was just being stupid. Say what you were gonna say.
Shout out to our homies in Sanguisuga for being the realists. I love those dudes. They're very nice with us.
Yeah, I think they're from Ohio. So I think they're from a little more west of here.
They're from like all scattered out from that state, like Columbus and other places from Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah, they're great. Undeath also from Rochester. I love them so much. They're an amazing band. Their new album is amazing. Horrendous, Outer Heaven, Tumult, Genocide Pact. I don't know. Any more, Jackie, that I'm missing?
Let me think.
No Mas.
We probably are.
Okay. Yes. Like, listen. My name's
Zach's cutting out again. Zach, you're always cutting out. What's going on?
That's the whole time?
No.
Little bits here and there. We'll have to get you a new iPhone.
Like, if it was like right when I was making a point, it would just cut out like right at an important part.
I'm sure.
Oh, and like what? Like Dutch Guts.
Yeah.
Trying to think, like organ dealer.
Sun Ra, Dutch Guts, Organ Dealer, all the local Meat Locker crew.
Yeah.
Love y'all.
Where was me? I don't think I've been to Meat Locker. Where is that?
That's in Montclair, New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah. 6-spot, DIY, crusty as fuck. Lovely. Just lovely.
And there's I mean, obviously they're probably not open now, but they're still going.
Yeah.
I think they do like it's like functions also as a rehearsal space.
Yep.
So it's like, yeah.
They also do some recordings right now, I think.
Okay. Cool.
They have their side hustles to stay alive. Yeah.
In Montclair. Okay, cool. Yeah, I should know that. I got like a job and shit, so, and I work fucking long hours, so it's rough, but I'm looking forward to getting out again.
Into that.
You definitely gotta get to the Meat Locker. Like, it's always a good time. The like equipment is hit or miss sometimes, but it's always a good time. And like every once in a while, like you'll catch some crazy like touring band, and it'll just be like the most special show. Like you know what I mean? It's just like it's always worth just like going there. If you're not doing anything and there's like a cool show there, it's definitely just worth going.
Awesome.
And then like supporting local stuff, like that's like the community. Like, you know what I mean? It's like that's like the community center. Like.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like seeing a band that's just a little bit too big to be playing the venue that they're playing, and those have definitely been the best shows that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's some little shit bar, but yet, it's like a pretty semi-national or national act going in there and just dumping the place upside down.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like how it is at St. Vitus too. Like they'll have, like they had like Megadeth, like they had like a one-off show like Megadeth. Every once in a while. Philly bands like that is just huge.
Yeah.
They had Anthrax in there too. That was insane.
Damn.
So packed.
Over at the Meat Locker, they had Sheer Terror played, and then earlier in the year we played with The Obsessed over at the Meat Locker. So that's
yeah,
a show for
pretty big band. Yeah.
Shout out to Wino, a good dude too.
Played that show, bro. I think you were just like drunk and went to it.
You didn't really play.
We didn't play with The Obsessed. Like Wino, I think we got like drugs from Wino, dude.
Wino's my boy. I could say that. God bless.
Fine.
It's just a big down there, man. You don't even know, dude.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we're sort of at time now. So I just want to thank you guys for joining us. Really looking forward to you guys getting in the home studio and recording new tracks, an EP. If that's all we can get, then we'll take what we can get.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris.
Also, if you haven't checked out the video, check out Necrotic Descent at Decibel, right? That's what's up.
Yeah.
They have it on Decibel and We Are the Pit. We actually premiered it through on We Are the Pit, and then Decibel like picked it up like a week later. Gene from put it out, so it was awesome. Thank you.
The first video is the same business, or is that a YouTube thing?
What was that?
The first video, which
Dark Ritual?
Oh,
the Dark Ritual one.
Oh, Dark Ritual. It was. I think Decibel put out Dark Ritual. I'm not sure who premiered it, but I know like We Are the Pit premiered this one, and then Decibel put it out second. And then, but both of them are on the Mind Decay YouTube. Like if you're looking for them, like, and you can't find it, if you're looking up Oxalate and you're getting a bunch of stuff for like kidney stones and shit, like you look up Mind Decay Productions, you'll find the videos.
Yeah, what does Oxalate mean exactly? Because I did do that same thing and wound up on a lot of digestive tract websites.
Chemical reaction that creates stones.
Yeah, it's like the chemical process where like the byproduct would be kidney stones. So it's just like super painful, and it's like really when you think about it, there's like nothing more like brutal than passing a freaking kidney stone. So like, you know, there you go.
Okay, so that's where it comes from.
And to be honest, it's like we had our first show booked with a bunch of really cool bands. We didn't have a name yet, and then the person making the flyer was just like, "I'm making a flyer today, so like if you don't have a name, like you're not going to be on it." And I think Jacky was like, "Yo, Oxalate, that sounds cool." I'm like, "Yeah, that's it." Like, and then we looked it up later. I like it though. I like stuff.
I actually found it through that. I was looking up chemicals, and I just wanted a chemical name for some reason, and I found that one.
And Chemical was already taken, so.
Well, fucking everything is taken. That's sort of like half the problem with the shit, right? I mean, it seems like everybody we interview has got a story about you know, having a name and then finding out that 5 other bands had the name, you know. So
I've had 2 bands that other bands had the name, but I say fuck it, because like if I hear the other band and I think my shit's better, like fuck it, we're doing the world a service, bro. Like this this the one, like this name staying. But no other band, nobody else got Oxalate, so I'm happy with that, because
okay.
No one else would make that a name.
That's cool. I like it.
I like it too.
I'm glad we stuck with it.
I like the way it sounds. I like the way it looks at a flyer. I just don't like when I got to explain what it is, because I feel like an idiot.
Oh, I'm sure there's plenty of guys who were in bands called, like, you know, Ripping Death Baby Gores and had to go and tell their mom what their band name was. I mean, I'm sure there's been, you know, everybody's got a weird story like that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And Jesus is taint, like.
Anyway, okay, we'll wrap it up. Again, thanks a lot for coming. We'll post all the links in the description. I really appreciate you guys coming on. We'll, you know, have you guys back on anytime.
Yeah, please.
Everybody go check these guys out and the videos.
Thanks for having us, man.
For having us, yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.